This is your one and only FireSpark81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Arc Mods Weekly. I know, it's been a few weeks, been a little bit. There wasn't a whole lot going on in the workshop, and I'm not going to do 5 billion different forms of Trank mods and other random stuff that we've seen dozens and dozens of mods of. So, you know, I gave it a little bit and waited for some new stuff to show up, and since release, we've gotten a bunch of new stuff. So without further ado, let's get to it. As you can see, I'm on this little adorable guy right here, and the first mod we are taking a look at is the Rideable Otter Mod. So it's exactly what you would think it is. It's you kind of he's a little jerky when you ride on him, but yeah, it's exactly what you think it is. It's a rideable otter. He's not too big. He's just big enough that you can sit on him. So he's not super big. Like, you could see your feet almost touch the ground. So they didn't enlarge him too much, but you can ride on him. You can swim around, and his swimming, to me. Now, I don't know if this is just the otter itself. I'm pretty sure it's probably just the otter itself and has nothing to do with the mod dev, but the swimming is just a tad bit wonky to me. Like when you look up, he kind of, let me see if I can go into K mode here to demonstrate that. Okay, here we are in K mode. Now, if I push forward and like I'm aiming down, but you can see he's going down, but he doesn't look like he's going down. And if I hold spacebar to go up, you just kind of go up. He doesn't tilt when he's in the water like you would expect. You would expect when you look down that the otter like tilts downwards, or when you look up, he would tilt upwards, but he kind of doesn't. He kind of just, you know, stays straight and, you know, either rises or lowers in the water. So tad bit, little bit wonky there, but he's really great because you can kill fish. And if we look here, he's going to, well, we're going to try to kill this salmon, maybe. And now we got a bunch of them on us, so we're just going to pop up out of the water to get all of them off of our butt, and then we'll just go back in and start tearing into them. And you can see that by killing the fish, I not only got fish, but I also got pearls. So he retains his pearl ability even though that it's big, you know, even though that it's a rideable otter, it still retains its ability to gather pearls by killing fish. Your right click ability will cause you to lay upside down, like otters tend to do, so you can go up to the surface and kind of, you know, swim along the surface. It's only for a second. Holding the button doesn't really do it anything. It doesn't make it go longer. I wish it did. I wish you could just hold it to continue to swim upside down on your back. So mod dev, if you're watching this, can you make that a thing? Like, I just want to float along the river upside down like an otter does, because it's hilarious. But yeah, that's about it. And the stats aren't crazy OP. So I haven't put any points into this thing, and I spawned it in tamed at 150, so it's a perfect tame at 225. Now, if we take a look at its stats, just over 2,000 health, 684 stamina. They actually, I don't know if you noticed, but they do have oxygen, the bar that ticks down when they're underwater, so they do breathe, but he's got a nice chunk of oxygen, so he can stay under for a very long time. Weight, pretty much non-existent. They're not going to carry hardly anything. At 176.8, you're not carrying much. Melee damage is actually pretty high, but I don't know what the base is. And 170 move speed, but we don't know what the base is, so it's kind of hard to tell. But I mean, you can see he's moving pretty fast. And I tried to get the numbers to pop up to show damage so we could see how much damage he's doing, but for some reason I cannot get that working, so I apologize for that. I tried to put in the code or the thing in the INI file, and it's not working. So, because I'd really like to see how much damage he does do, but it's not OP, not crazy fast. You can see here, I mean, this is normal walk, this is sprinting. He moves faster, the model moves faster, but it doesn't look like he moves too much faster across the ground when you're sprinting. So that's it. That's the giant rideable otter. Oh, by the way, it does have a saddle. Almost forgot to mention that. So if you go into your Ingrams and you type OTT, you can see here that it does have a saddle. It's going to cost you 185er, 290 hide, and 40 pearls, but it's invisible. I have one on this guy here, so it's just to give them that extra added armor bonus. So, but you don't actually see it. So they do have an invisible saddle that you can learn, and that saddle is going to cost you 10 Engram points to learn. So there we go. Okay, now that's it. That's it for the Rideable Otter mod. All right, on to the next. Next mod we're going to take a look at is called Grubs, and it's this right here. See this grub? Of course it's going to start raining. All right, hold on. We're going to wait for this rain because I don't like doing mod tutorials in the rain. Okay, now that it's finished raining, let's take a look at the grub bin. So in order to get this, you're going to go into your Engrams and you're going to type grub. Right here it is. And that's going to cost you 3 Engram points to learn. You're going to need to know the storage box before you can make this. It's going to cost you 30 fiber, 25 hatch, and 30 wood. What does it do? I'm sure you're asking. It spoils meat for you. And I know. There's a ton of meat spoilers. Everybody's probably like, I've seen meat spoilers a billion trillion times. I'm so sick of them. But this one is really neat and really unique, so I had to show it off. So if you take a look at it, well, I've already apparently spoiled all the meat that's in there, so let's put some more meat in there. So you load it with stem berries. These guys would not normally be in there at first. You load it with stem berries, you load it with meat, and eventually you will start to spawn grubs. As you spawn the grubs, your meat will start to spoil faster. So you can see here, it's spoiling every 30 seconds, they spoil. So you can spoil meat pretty quick, but it only has 10 storage slots. So that's the thing, but it can hold 11 because it'll make room for the meat there. Now here is the neat thing and what I thought was really cool. So you see the spoil timer on this meat right here. Actually, let's do the first one so we don't get confused. It's 3:10 right now. So if I grab just one of these guys, or 2 of them, and one of them, and we transfer it over here, you can see that it drastically dropped the meat time. So these dudes will not last very long outside of the bin. They last longer in the bin. You can see here 36. I think when the first one spawned, it was around 45 minutes. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it was around 45-ish minutes or so that these will last, and they continuously spawn and generate as meat is spoiling. But you can pull them out, and what was that when we pulled it out? Like 7 minutes, it's like 7 or 8 minutes, and put them in your inventory before you go on a meat run. And as you're going on a meat run, you can put it in your pet's inventory. It will quickly spoil the meat for you. So by the time you're done and you get back to base, it's no big deal. So let's just grab a couple of these. We got 10 of them right here, and we're just going to throw this meat back in here as much as we can. And then we'll throw the rest of it out, and I will demonstrate this for you real quick. Okay, so I have a Megatherium here because I know they hit hard. We have the grubs in his inventory, so we're just going to go over here and kill some unsuspecting victims and just completely destroy them. And there we go. We got 56 raw. Well, we got a ton of raw meat. So, and then if we go into his inventory, you can see that it's already at 1 minute and 50 seconds. And this guy's ticking down a little bit, but you got to remember they extend the life of, it's basically the same as putting it in a refrigerator by putting it in the inventory of a pet. So it's going to be a little bit longer. You might be better off if you just transfer it. Let's kill this Rex just because I don't like him being over here. And we're going to kill this guy as well. I wish you could see these numbers popping up right now because I'm sure they're ridiculous. I will figure that out in the future, but I had to hurry up and record tonight. So anyway, if we go into his inventory, like I said, they act as a fridge, so your spoil timer is going to be a little bit longer, but you can see it is making a difference. If we pull the grubs out of there, you can see it's at 21. Put the grubs back in there, and it's at a minute. Now I have a stack mod on, so it's not going to be quite as efficient, but you know, you could also, after you kill some stuff, pull it out and put it in your inventory, and it'll tick down much quicker that way. You also notice that the grubs do not change depending on whether they're in your inventory or your mount's inventory, unlike the meat does. So that's it, pretty much all of it for that mod. I just thought that mod was really cool and unique in the fact that it takes kind of a new look at meat spoiling. So I thought you all might find that interesting, and I just wanted to show it off. All right, on to the next. All right, next up we have the ship's quarters decor mod, and believe it or not, this is not by Eco, which is kind of surprising. So in order to get started in this, you're going to go into your Ingrams, you're going to type QUA, and that will bring it up. For some reason, ship does not, SHI will bring it up as well. It's right here. This is what you want. This is your crafting station that's going to get you started. It's going to cost you 1 Ingram point. It's going to cost you 75 thatch and 50 wood to craft it after you spend that Ingram point. And then we come over here and we take a look at it. We go into crafting. Now, one thing I noticed that kind of bugged me a little bit in the inventory, you still see the recipes. Which I kind of wish you didn't. I kind of wish they were only over in the crafting because I've kind of gotten used to that with Arc. Also, I wasn't able to get them to go inside of folders. So that's the only thing that really bugged me a little bit, but it's not a deal breaker because the mod itself is awesome and the textures and the furniture are absolutely amazing. So anyway, you're going to need a lot of thatch, a lot of fiber, a little bit of a lot of wood as well, and there was a couple things in here that took raw metal. There you go. So it just takes raw metal. So a little bit of that, mostly thatch, fiber, and wood. So really easy, simple to craft stuff. And there's enough here that I was actually able to place all of it, and I can show it all off to you. So there wasn't too much stuff, so we can take a look at all of it. So we're going to start off. We got the little ottomans. You can actually sit on these, which are neat. And there's only 2 of those. There's 2 different versions. And then we come over here and there are a ton of chairs. So I'm just going to kind of walk down the row here. Let you take a look at all of them. You got all kinds of different kinds of chairs, even up to like your normal looking office chair. I'm not sure you'd want to put that in a ship, but you know, whatever. If it fits your nautical theme, it fits your nautical theme. But lots of different kinds of chairs, and these would work great for in a house too. Like you really wouldn't tell the difference between this being on a ship or in a house. Same with the sofas, and you can sit on all of these, and if you hold down the options, you can see that you can pick all of them up. So all of this stuff is pick-upable. Is pick-upable a word? I feel like it's a word. Pick-upable. We're going to use it. Anyway, so I mean, look at these textures. This is great. It really has that like old-timey feel to it. Those cushions look like if you were to sit on them, they're going to hurt your butt a little bit. But yeah, and it's got like the pillows just thrown on it. Really, really, really great. You know, your grandma's old sofa. That's what that one looks like right there. But yeah, so different kinds of sofas, different kinds of chairs. Let's go down one more time. 2 ottomans, and we're just going to kind of go down the row here. Let you get a good look at all the stuff. So that's all the sitting stuff. Now onto the beds. I love this bed. Look at this bed. This bed is gorgeous. Like look at let's get all that crap off there. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? So well done on the textures. They look great. And I mean the texture on the bed there, on the blanket looks amazing. So that's another bed. And of course, you have an old-timey car bed. How freaking fantastic is the old-timey car bed? I love it. I love everything about it. I mean, you got to have a car bed. We got your, more traditional type, modern day bed, some like rustic looking beds, a very rustic looking bed, and then a hammock. There is another hammock. I was not able to place it. I think it can only go on a boat. If you look there in the symbol, it has a little raft on it. So I think that it can only be placed on a raft. I was not able to place it anywhere up here. As you can see, this hammock here places, it doesn't need to be connected to anything. You just place it wherever you want. So if you want it to not look like it's just hovering in air like we have it here, you're gonna need to place it between 2 walls or something like that, because otherwise you can totally have it just hovering in the air. But it looks great. I love the look of it, and I kind of wish you could lay in these like you can sit in the chairs, but you can't really make use of them. And then next up we have the window curtains. So yeah, the left and the right window curtains, and they're a little bit bigger. They're kind of clipped right now. If we pick one of those up and go into our inventory, I'll show you what it looks. I just wanted to initially show you how it looks if you place them correctly. But if we place it at the very, tip of there, you can see the whole thing in what it looks like there. So, you have 2 of those there. And then we're going to come over here, and then there are 2 maps. They're the same map, but there's a large one, and then there's this tiny one, and it is a map of the island, which I think is fantastic. It looks great. I mean, look at the texture on that. Let me see if I can crouch down here. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely amazing. And then we come over here. Now there's a ton of storage stuff, and that's what we're going to cover next. I kind of just got it all jammed in here. You got your bigger storages. Now let me bring this back up so we can see the how much they can hold. So these hold 250, these big ones. And then we have a bunch of little ones. That one's 25, that one's 25. Show you the fronts of them. So that's what they look like, little nightstand tables and stuff like that. And then I have two here. There is this one, and this is kind of funny because the one on the bottom right here, you can see only holds 25, the nightstand. And then we look at this little note box that I have setting on the top, and it holds 100. Don't ask, it's a magic note box. So you can see how there you got the little teeny tiny note box chest that you can set on top of your nightstands for storage. And then we have different kinds of cupboards and dressers. So this one holds 125. And if we come around here to this dresser, it's 125. And then there's two more note boxes. There's this little one right here. Let's get rid of that so you can see how gorgeous they look. Can I get in closer? No, hold on a minute here. Yeah, that's about as close as I'm able to get there. So you can get a good look at it. I wish I could zoom in on it a little more. And then we have this other one over here. And this one's kind of like, looks more like a recipe box of sorts or something like that. So those each hold 100, and then the nightstand below it or dresser below it holds 125. And then this dresser also holds 125. Then we have the mirror here, which just doesn't really work. I mean, it kind of works, but you can't really see yourself. You're not allowed to see yourself in this game, but it holds 100. And then we have the nightstand here, and that holds 25. We have a bookshelf that holds 100. And this pen, this inkwell, actually holds right there 100, so it's a storage container as well. But I like how they took the items, like your decoration items, and gave them an actual use. They're more than just decoration items. They're also used to store stuff. So then we have this dresser here, 125, and then each of these books hold 100 items each. And we have the ship's log, Tales of the Sea, and the Odyssey by Homer. So really great. I love that, because you could just stack these books all over the place and have tons of storage in a really, really compact little area. So if we take a look here, if I grab this one and we can, where's the pick up here? Pick it up, and then we're going to just drag it down to our old hotbar here and hit 3, and you can see that they no clip, so you can clip them inside of each other, although it's going to be hard to access them then. But I mean, they'll pretty much go anywhere you want them to go on any of these. So if we place these, if I was to really legit trying to place these as compact as possible, like you can see here, you can get them really close to each other. So you could pack a lot of stuff just on top of like one of these dressers. But that is it for that mod, and that is it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. That is going to wrap it up for this episode. Before I go, I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for all of your support. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to help support this channel through Patreon, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy and you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time. Thanks for watching.